Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt. Now it's time to discover your legal issue blind spots by listening to me talk about the law on the radio. And today you can join us, Anna Cruz, CEO of FinTax Help, IRS resolution expert, and me as we discuss how you can plan right now to legally reduce your tax liability when you file your taxes next year. Slash your 2025 tax bill and protect your assets like a pro. But first, let's get into the financial focus segment. In addition to legal blind spots, I'd like to highlight some financial blind spots as well. If you listen to Talk Law Radio regularly, you know that Steve Warren, president of Financial Planning HQ, has been discussing the financial focus for the last few weeks. Steve and his sons, Joseph and Jacob, serve as financial CEO for Successful People. This week and for the next few weeks, Joseph Warren will be discussing the financial focus with me. Joseph, welcome to Talk Law Radio.
Thanks for having me on again.
Joseph, we're going to be talking taxes today, right, with Anna?
Yes.
And so I would like to know, what does year-end planning look like for your financial planning clients?
Yeah, it's really a big focus, but it depends, of course, because every client is different. I know a lot of your audience are older adults, retirement age, so I'm going to kind of focus on that.
Okay.
A lot of our clients fit that description as well. And what we've noticed is as you get older, the IRS looks to get as much money out of you as they can before you die.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And even when you die, you know, if you have retirement accounts, a lot of money in 401ks and things like that, they make you take it all in 10 years, your heirs. And some people will just take it all at once because they're not financially literate. Mm-hmm. And that leads to a lot of taxes going to the government. So I'm going to talk about a strategy having to do with required minimum distributions, which people have to take when they're age 73 to 75 now. And the reason you have to take it is because if you don't, they're going to charge you 25%. And we have a tax law expert, so let me know. I know they're constantly changing it. But they'll charge you 25% if you don't do that. Mm-hmm. And they're not doing that because they want older adults to be financially, make sure their cash flows are good. It's a great source of revenue for the government, right? Taxing these 401ks. You have to take the required minimum distribution. The money's never been taxed. And the government's going to get that money so they can spend it on some good things, parks, libraries, but, studies. There was a study they did about why people spill their coffee while they walk around, the migration patterns of birds, some things that aren't maybe so good.
Yes, we know that the government is not a good financial steward of resources.
Sometimes, yeah, for sure. But we had a client who was having to take the required minimum distributions, and he was also someone who already gave to charity. He gave to his church. He gave to veterans' causes and the other causes that were very near and dear to his heart. And we told him, basically, if you take that money straight out of your IRA, send it directly to the charities, you're going to give it anyway, but you can skip having to pay the taxes on those required minimum distributions. Mm-hmm. This is called a Qualified Charitable Distribution strategy. And it's kind of a basic thing, but it saved him a few $1,000s each year. And he's doing something he was going to do anyway, just giving to his church, giving to charity.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a Christian radio station, we like to focus on the gospel as well as the law.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that's really neat that he could save money that way. It's a win-win, for the charity and for him.
Yeah.
What are some other tactics that you can tell us you help your clients with?
Well, the IRS doesn't just go after retirement assets. That's a great boon to them. It gives them a lot of money, but also your non-retirement stock accounts, your brokerage account you might have. If you have done a good job over your lifetime picking good stocks, you'll probably have a lot of capital gains. And sometimes for strategic reasons, you want to place some sales, maybe to get out of one sector or do something like that. So we had a client in that situation where they were going to have to place some sell orders and recognize a lot of capital gains. And this is actually a strategy that's best done proactively, called tax loss harvesting. But what we had them do is harvest losses by selling stocks that were losers that hadn't done well and buying stocks that were very similar. So an example is if you have like a large Fidelity account, I know I have a stock account at Fidelity, you might say, my GM stock is not doing so well. I'm going to sell it for a loss, capital loss, that can be written off against capital gains in the future or this year, and I'm going to buy Ford stock. Very similar, but not identical.
Yeah.
And doing that, you can even write off, as much, $3,000 in ordinary income, as well as counteract your capital gains. That's another strategy that we use with clients. Every year, we like to do it proactively too. So sometimes we'll just tell our money managers just automatically. Now with computers, they can just automatically do it throughout the year.
Right. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's genius, actually.
Yeah.
And I love the term harvesting tax losses. It makes me think of a farmer.
Yeah.
Now let's talk bigger picture. What factors really go into effective year-end tax planning?
Over the course since I've been working in the business, we've had a lot of clients who are pilots, and we actually learned from pilots that checklists are very important. I'm a huge believer in checklists. So we have a checklist that we go through in our financial planning discipline to make sure that we're not missing any opportunities for our clients. But one thing to ask yourself, so the reason you can do end-of-year tax planning is because you're close to the next year. Mm-hmm. So you can sort of ask yourself, am I going to be in a higher tax bracket next year or this year? Of course, you don't know exactly, but there should be some clues if you're going to make more money next year or the previous year. If it's next year.
Personally, I like to make more money every year.
Every single year. And grow it, right?
Yeah.
But if for some reason you anticipate that you might have, a higher tax bill next year, you can delay some of those deductible expenses to January, just a few months away. If you don't, you could, accelerate them and bundle those expenses this year. So that's one thing to think about, is if you want to really attack this year, balance it out, or if you really want to attack the next year.
Right. And it sounds easy to do, to look at tax brackets and look at what your income's going to be. But practically, I think that people might have a hard time confronting that. Who can help them?
Yeah. Well, we can help them. Of course, tax experts like Anna can help them. But really, it's you want to make sure you have a good CPA who's proactive. And I was looking at your website, Anna, that you said tax strategy, because I feel like that's missing for so many people. Usually it's just preparing the taxes, just, looking at it that way. But you want to have a good proactive CPA. Of course, we can help, right? As financial planners, I'm not going to say we can definitely help with that. We have strategies and checklists and everything. And we'll make sure that you make the best decisions so you can achieve your financial goals. And one part of that is minimizing your taxes. And to do that, we work with smart people like Anna. Yeah.
Okay, well, doing all that stuff, I'm sure, is necessary, but do you have any resources right now that our listeners can get from you?
Yeah, we have a checklist that's client-facing. And for anyone who calls in, I set up a special number for this. It's 210-444-2128. I couldn't get all the fours, but 444-2128. And for anyone who calls that and mentions Tax Law Radio, I'll send it to you for free, no obligation. And for the first 3 people who call, I'll give them a book too, which will drastically increase their chances of achieving their financial goals. And that's completely complimentary. They don't need to do anything. We're just going to provide some value, provide some education that could help people whether they work with us or not.
Great. We'll give that number again a couple of times.
Yes, it's 210-444-2128.
Thank you for sharing that. Whether it's achieving or maintaining financial independence, becoming more tax efficient, or building business wealth, Steve, Joseph, and Jacob can create comprehensive, written, lifetime financial strategies that's uniquely yours, based entirely on what's important for you. So call Financial Planning HQ today, 210-444-2128. And if you have a question about income taxes, you can call right now. Call the radio show today, November 1st, 2025. You can call 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Or if you're in Houston, Texas, you can call 866-308-8867, 866-308-8867. We're going to be talking with Anna next segment about income taxes and how you can legally reduce your tax liability by planning now.
Yes, right now. This is the best time.
That's right, because you don't want to wait until after the first of the year, because then you might miss some of those opportunities to do things now.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, well, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Most families don't realize they have hidden legal blind spots until it's too late. Wills, trusts, Medicaid planning, even protecting a business. These are the kinds of issues attorney Todd Marquardt helps uncover before they become problems. Todd is the host of Talk Law Radio, where each week he guides listeners through the legal challenges families, veterans, and business owners face, while showing them the practical steps to protect what matters most. Catch Talk Law Radio, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 6:30 a.m. The Word, and now in Houston on AM 1070 and 103.3 FM The Answer, or anytime on YouTube. Planning isn't just about documents. It's about peace of mind, security for loved ones, and building a legacy that lasts. Don't wait for a crisis. Do it before you die.